All right, so today I'm going to do a video showing you guys method number 3 on your review packet on completing the square. So far with solving quadratics, we have covered the quadratic formula. Okay, that's one way to solve quadratics. The second way that we've talked about is factoring. That's a second way to solve quadratics. The third way that we've talked about is square rooting. Okay, that's another way to solve quadratics. And today we're going to talk about completing the square. Okay, all right, so with completing the square, the first thing we want to do is we want to look at our b value. Remember, all quadratics are in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. I shouldn't say all quadratics are in that form, but all quadratics can be written in that form. And this one is in that form. So you want to take your b value and divide it by 2. So what's negative 18 divided by 2? Negative 9. We're going to make that into a perfect square. Now we have plus 65 equals 0. Okay, we always want to then square whatever number is in the parentheses here, and that number is always your b divided by 2. Okay, you always want to square that number and add it to the other side. So what's 9 squared? Or negative 9 squared? It's going to be the same answer either way, positive 81. So we always want to add your b divided by 2 squared to the other side. Now this is a really short, really condensed method way of doing this. Okay. So now we have x minus 9 squared. We want to get all of our constants on the right side of the equal sign. So we want to subtract 65 from both sides. X minus 9 squared equals 81 minus 65. All right, 80 minus 65 would be 15, so 81 minus 65 would be 16, okay? All right, now it's in perfect square form, so we want to get x by itself. Right now, all of x minus 9 is being squared, so we want to undo that. We want to square root both sides. The square root and the square cancel. That leaves us with x minus 9 equals plus or minus 4. We can't forget that plus or minus sign. All right, now our final step is to add 9 to both sides, and we will have 2 answers. X will equal positive 4 plus 9, that's 13. And x will equal negative 4 plus 9, that's the same as 9 minus 4, which is 5. So these are our 2 answers. All right, and I'm doing this live, so I didn't explain a lot because I want to keep these videos short and concise, but let's recap. Half of negative 18 is negative 9. That's the number that always goes in parentheses. You always want to move your constants to the right side of the equal sign, okay? So we did that in the second step. That could have been your first step. It doesn't matter. But the number that's super important, I like to call it kind of the magic number when we complete the square. The number that makes the square complete is your b divided by 2 squared. And that was 81 in this case. Because our b was negative 18, you divide it by 2, you get negative 9. You square it, always add it to the other side, and you get 81, okay? So 81 minus 65 was 16, and that worked out nice because 16 is a perfect square. We get x minus 9 equals plus or minus 4. Our last step was adding 9 to both sides. Positive 4 plus 9 is 13. Negative 4 plus 9 is 5. So our final solutions were 13 and 5.